Hey, what's up, Shrinkivers, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are very fortunate to actually come to a place where we can actually learn. You have not thought about how can you actually do your own stream food, or the process of doing a stream food. But today we have somebody who is very very professional and has many experience in doing stream food, and he is nonetheless from Stream Envy. So Rob, thank you for inviting me to your place and have this interaction and this conversation with you.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for being here, everybody. I'm Rob. I'm the owner of Shrimp Envy.
So maybe you would like to walk us through your setup, because I really like how it looks like now, because this is your new house, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you have moved here for how many months?
We moved here in December.
Okay.
So 6 months.
6 months.
This is my office first, our living room.
Right.
We live here and we work here, so we're fortunate to work from home.
Mm-hmm.
And then we flow into our shrimp room. This is our newly built shrimp room.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing.
We custom did this whole room with the floors, the walls, the lighting, the doors. These are custom built racks. We're going to have an auto top off system that we're still in the process of building. We have 18 10-gallon racks, tanks, and 18 17-gallon tanks.
Wow.
It's going to be, this wall here is going to be all Neos.
All here Neos, okay.
This will be all Neos.
Over here, okay.
And then here's going to be all the good shrimp.
Okay.
This will be our good Caradinas, and then this will be the stuff that we sell to the stores, the lower grade stuff, the Culls, the Tangerine Tigers, Crystal Reds, Blue Bolts, things like that. They'll have their own bigger tanks, that way we can breed more numbers to supply those.
So Rob, you actually do stream food as a business, right?
Correct.
So maybe would you like to share with us how it all started and walk us through
Sure.
how you actually do it as well?
Okay, so a little bit about our company is it's my wife and I. She's not here at the moment because she's at the Aquatic Expo setting up the International Shrimp Contest. So 10 years ago, me and her were doing saltwater shrimp or fish for about 10, 15, 20 years. I've always had fish tanks my whole life since I was a child, just like most of us in the hobby, right? And then it was 10 years ago we discovered the Crystal Reds and cherry shrimp at one of our local fish stores. And I was mesmerized. They were just cool little creatures. They're swimming all over the place. They're active. They're chasing each other around. They're just really interesting animals. So 10 years later, we have our own shrimp company. No more saltwater. It's all gone. We got out of the saltwater habit or hobby. And now we breed our own shrimp.
Shrimps, okay.
And we make shrimp food.
Okay. So Rob, it's a very nice place with a lot of nice posters. So where do you do your food? Where do you do your food? What are some of the, how do you do it? I think we are all very curious, how do you actually do it?
Part of the draw when we were searching for houses was we needed a large kitchen with lots of cabinets so that we could store all the ingredients and have counter space.
Right, okay.
So right here we have our mixers.
Right.
We have
some
about 25 ingredients in all of our foods, so it's all in here.
All in here.
All kinds of ingredients that go in the foods.
Right, okay.
All of our foods are handmade right here in our kitchen.
Handmade.
Every day.
Handmade.
Handmade with machines.
Right. I understand, but it's all handmade.
It's all handmade.
And what's the reason for, doing it like handmade still?
So when I first started keeping shrimp,
right,
10 years ago, there was a hole in the market. There was not really a lot of shrimp specific food. Most people were in the United States were just feeding fish food.
Fish food, okay.
Or spirulina pellets, things like that,
Right.
which is not a proper diet for a shrimp. They
Right.
need the minerals, they need the proper protein, they need calcium,
And all of those.
magnesium, iodine,
Right.
things like that. So I set on a journey to just figure out, learn what they need. I watched a ton of YouTube videos and met a lot of cool breeders around the world in that time. And over a course of 2 years, we came up with our first shrimp food. And then we had a large group of shrimp people that lived in Oregon where we lived at the time. And the local shrimp club was testing our food for us for 2 years.
Okay.
So for 2 years, they were all using our food to test it, to make sure it was safe, make sure their shrimp loved it. And then we formed the company after that.
Wow, it's awesome.
And that was in 2019
Okay.
that we formed Shrimp Envy. The name is kind of an inside joke
Okay. What?
because when I first became a shrimper, I spent all my time just scouring the internet, YouTube, Facebook, just looking at everybody else's shrimp.
Uh-huh.
And my wife always told me that I had shrimp envy.
Okay, so that's how.
So then when we formed the company, it just stuck.
Okay.
Like, okay, we'll call it Shrimp Envy since Rob has shrimp envy.
Okay, so this is where it all starts, and then what do you do next after?
So we make a dough here,
Okay.
and then we extrude it through the
Right.
processor to make
Right.
pellets.
Right.
And
And
then
then
it
where
com-
does it go?
Then it comes out into the garage,
Okay.
and it goes into the big dehydrator.
So this is the big dehydrator.
Yep.
Okay, so this one you were saying that it can do what?
This can do 3 kilograms of food,
Of food.
and we can do 2 batches a day
2 batches a day. Oh wow.
if we want to work a lot of hours.
Yeah, that's a huge. All right. So what's going on behind over here?
Back here is just product storage and shipping storage.
Okay.
Excuse the mess. We have the International Shrimp Contest mess in our garage right now. But we store all our food, our shipping materials, our botanicals, all the different brands that we carry on our website.
Yeah, so for those who are interested, I actually tried this, and this is really really good. So I've tried all of this, but I personally like this over this. But this is what I
This
really
one
like.
is better for breeding. If
Yeah,
you're trying to
breeding.
breed fast, it's a higher protein, you
Right.
get faster growth,
Exactly.
more egg development. This is more of our daily staple food.
Yep, correct.
So we feed this every day or every other day.
Right.
And we feed this like once a week in exchange of this.
So can I feed this every day?
Probably not. You can,
Again.
but you might have molting issues, or you're
Too
on
much.
a high protein diet, you're lowering the lifespan of your shrimp.
Right. So how do you do all this packaging? Is it so when it comes from there?
Comes out of the dry hydrator, we
comes
break it down into smaller pellets
Right.
here,
Okay.
so that it's bite size.
Right, right, right. And
And we come in here, we have all of our scales, we weigh it all out, we label the packaging here. We have all the actual finished food up in here,
okay.
plus overstock and just supplies. And then
And all this.
we do all of our packaging right here, we do our shipping on the table,
Okay.
and then we have a label printer that prints out the mailing label,
And then you seal it,
seal it,
and then you
goes in the garage for
Goes in.
storage until we get orders.
right.
We try to keep at least 50 bags of each on hand at all
All
times.
this. Okay.
Yeah.
So
That
maybe
way.
maybe you want to kind of like explain a little bit.
Explain? Okay.
Yeah.
So we already talked about Complete is the
Correct.
main staple food. I don't know if you want to zoom in on the ingredients.
Can do that.
People can see what's in there.
It's mulberry, nettle, dandelion, kale, Morrigan, all plant based.
It's all plant-based and
Right.
mineral-based. No fillers, no preservatives, no meat products. It's mostly organic, but not every ingredient can be organic.
Yeah, understand. And what's the next one?
Food Fight is a replacement for this. It has more grazing, snowflake, barley,
I see.
more grazing components, so you can leave it in your tank longer.
Right.
Or if you have a very small population and you're worried about pollution and nitrates, this will have less bio load on the tank.
Okay.
The growth is the high protein food. If you're wanting faster breeding, growth, more egg development, bigger shrimp. The Shell Envy is a higher calcium mineral food. It has a higher concentration of montmorillonite clay and mironacouton, chitin,
Yep.
amino acids, vitamins.
So this is the one that provides the they call it the thick shell kind of
right.
things.
For
right?
shell development or for neos, a lot of our customers use this if they're having red ring of death,
Yep.
molting issues. This will help the shrimp get proper
Right.
calcium mineral levels.
And Baby Envy.
Baby is a
Powder.
powder. It's a higher protein, higher calcium powder for your babies because in their first month they have to molt, a couple times a week.
Correct.
They're not as mobile as the adults, so they can't compete for the pellets. So this is a very fine powder that will, as soon as you drop it in the tank, it will cover the whole top of the tank, just a
Right.
tiny pinch, and will rain down into the tank, and then all the babies will be able to
Yeah.
get a bite before the
Right.
adults take it all.
Okay. And
This here
Bee
is just
pollen.
bee pollen.
okay.
Bee pollen. This is a mix of granules and powder. Again, so the babies can get some, the adults can get some. Bee pollen is just a nutritious superfood that
Yep.
everything in the world loves to eat.
And then you have Snow Envy.
Snowflake is just your soy hull vacation food. It's not the most nutritious of food, but if you're going to be out of town for a few days, you can drop it in there and it'll give them something to graze on for a couple
Right.
days. But
And you have
we have a sampler pack that just has a mix of all of the
this.
main 5 foods, so
Right.
people can try them out.
this is good.
See which one they like. Has 6 grams of each of the main foods.
Let me get that in focus. Okay. Good. And we have more.
We have shrimp lolly, big lollies, and little lollies. These have a lot of food on them. So these are more for fun. These are a treat for you as much as they are for the shrimp. Your shrimp will climb all over it. It'll pull them all out of the tank. You put this in your heavy colony and 5 minutes later there'll be 100 shrimp on it.
Yeah.
And then you want to keep it away from the flow. Otherwise it'll wash it off the stick faster and the shrimp won't be able to eat it.
That's a good tip.
And then we have a smaller one for smaller colonies.
things.
If they don't want a smaller tank, smaller colonies, so you're
Yeah.
not causing water pollution.
Right. And
This is our Monty clay. This is again a powder. This is just a mix of calcium and deep sea mud with minerals, vitamins, trace elements, just to keep you. We dose this after every water change.
Right.
There's a little tiny spoon in there. A little goes a long way. The shrimp will run up and gobble it up, and it's just ensuring that they're getting those minerals and vitamins that they need. And it's again a natural source instead of using chemical vitamins.
right. And then other than your range of products, you also have like botanicals and other brands of other.
Botanicals, we carry the full Vin line,
Yeah.
we carry Low Keys, we carry Salty Bee, Glass Garden, Liquid Gardens, Salty Shrimp.
Right.
So
So a lot of stuff. Yeah.
we have pretty much everything you need except tanks and lights.
Tanks and lights. All
We
right.
have filters, sponge filters. We use all the sponge filters.
Yeah. Yeah, so for those who wants to get like Hoa Food and Breeder Select, you can also reach out to Shrimp Envy. So they have them as well. They have a lot of other food stuff. So they are really a one-stop shop for all your food needs. So they can have everything that you can think of. They have it. Yeah, really awesome. I think Rob, you have I think you have dedicated your time and your effort and your energy all on this food, and the streams will definitely be very, very fortunate to feed on your food. So one question, if let's say I'm just a new Caridina breeder or maybe a keeper who only have one tank at home and I only want to buy one type of your food, which one would you recommend?
I would always recommend them to get the complete.
Right.
For a small colony or a newer breeder, because
Right.
again, if you overfeed the protein or the minerals, you can cause problems
Yeah.
with your shrimp. So
So this one, so Complete Envy. So that's the one that you should get for those people who have only one tank and only have one type of feed that you really want to feed. So you can contact Rob through his website. It's www.streamenvy.com, right?
yes.
Yeah, and then you can place your orders directly there.
We're also in 48 stores around the United States now, so we wholesale to stores. If people own, we only sell to your local fish stores. We don't sell to any big box stores or Petco's or PetSmarts. Nothing against them, but we want to keep it
Right.
We want to keep it with knowledgeable aquarium keepers that will be able to help people use the food and explain how to use them. All the stores that we have our foods in also carry shrimp.
Yep.
So they go hand in hand, obviously, for the store. So coming to a store near you.
Yeah, very good. Is there any last words before we end this video? Anything you
No.
would like to share?
I don't have anything prepared for that. That's real.
So maybe let me ask you a very last question. You have all your food and your stream room is all very nice. It's all done up. It gets a lot of. I know right now you are already hiring your son to help you. What would you like Stream Envy to look like in the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years, hopefully I'll be retired.
Okay.
But we hope to have a store in every state before we stop.
Okay.
Obviously, me and my wife, we run the company. We're a partnership. I couldn't do it without her. She makes the food. I package the food and sell the food. I take care of the shrimp. So, we're semi-retired. We're blessed to be able to live our dream and make our hobby into our life, but also still be our hobby. So we enjoy going to shows, traveling the country. Now we're blessed to be able to go to Aquashellas and Aquatic Expo and travel the United States, hopefully maybe Germany soon, to Dortmund. So we're very blessed. We love shrimp.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Thank you very much for inviting me over, and it's time for us to eat and then head back to the Aquatic Expo.
All right.
So thank you very much
Keep on
for this.
shrimping.
Thank you. And for those who remember to give us a thumbs up, and for those who are new to this channel, please remember to subscribe. And until next time, peace out.